Hey there, hello and welcome. It is Madeline here, and today I am sharing with you sign number 3 that you have emotional baggage. Okay, so remember these signs all stand alone, or you could have them all. Many of us have them all. Okay, and sign number 3, and there are no particular order. So sign number 3 is regret. Okay, you have feelings of regret a lot. Okay, so I mean, we've all have had instances where we regret something that we may have said or done, and then we can make amends for it. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about, right? So emotional baggage in the lines of regret is usually maybe something that you can't change, right? So for example, I didn't have a great relationship with my father when he was living for various reasons. And then when he died, I had regret, right? I had deep regret about how that was. And hey, Lorraine, good to see you. I had deep regret about what that was. And it was a burden in my body, in my spirit, in my mind, right? And when you have a burden in your mind, it translates into your body, okay? So I was able to let that go. I was able to heal that and let that go with a powerful technique that I'm going to be sharing with you in my Primordial Power Weekend if you choose to join me, okay? And I hope you will. I'll give you details about that at the end. So, but regret, right? So again, not like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and then you can say, I'm sorry, but you wake up with regret. You go to bed with regret. Maybe you're repeating patterns, right? So yesterday I talked about repeating patterns, right? And with the relationships that we choose, with not meeting our goals, and then we feel regret, right? Because we weren't true to ourselves, okay? And then the pattern repeats again. That's a sign of emotional baggage. I talked to this other woman earlier this week, right, where she was feeling regret and guilt, right? You have feelings of guilt, which is one of the negative emotions that we're going to let go at my weekend event, at my powerful event. And she was feeling guilty. She had guilt and regret about the way that she had handled a situation in her family decades ago. And she was still carrying this guilt around with her. And although I could help her, she chose not to participate in the weekend, sadly. Hopefully there's still time for her to change her mind. But she was an excellent candidate for my Primordial Power Weekend because she knew the source of her emotional baggage. She could identify the emotions, the negative emotions that were weighing her down and keeping her stuck, which were regret and guilt. And I know that if she came to my weekend, we'd be able to let that go. So, but, I told you about my situation with my dad, right? And, so my dad died some years ago. And there was a time where, I couldn't talk about him without crying because of that guilt and regret that I had about the way our relationship was for some time. But I did this work, right? I let go of the regret, the guilt, and with the powerful process that I'm going to share in my Primordial Power Weekend. And I forgave myself, right? So I'm also going to share that powerful forgiveness process in my Primordial Power Weekend as well. So again, and to repeat, there is the repeating of the patterns, right? So if you're repeating patterns, right? So you keep picking bad relationships. You keep not meeting your goals, whether they be weight loss or income goals or career goals. You self-sabotage, and then you have regret about like, oh, why did I eat that pizza, right? Like, why didn't I say that in that meeting? And then you beat yourself up over that. We can let that go. So my Primordial Power Weekend is next weekend, right? So Saturday and Sunday afternoons, Eastern time, June 27th and 28th, right? It's online. It's totally online and virtual. We're going to use Zoom, and I'm going to help you, bring a situation that is weighing you down up, and then we're going to let go all of the negative emotions around it, right? So anger, sadness, fear, guilt, Guilt and regret usually go hand in hand, okay? And then we're gonna let them go like that. And then we're gonna let go of a limiting belief that you have, or may have, that you most likely have created as a result, okay? And then I'm gonna help you take the first step in the direction of the life that you want. So listen, if this weekend is calling to you, if this work is calling to you and you know you're ready to let something like that go, I invite you to say yes or me in the comments, and I'll reach out to you with the details for the weekend, okay? Or you can message me if you don't want to put it in the comments, you're welcome to message me, yes or me, or whatever questions that you have, and I'll be happy to share the details with you. Okay, so I hope this serves you. Happy weekend, or whenever you are watching this, and I will look forward to seeing you again in the next video. And until then, I will see you in the gap. Namaste. Be blessed.